I saw that I was truly making a difference on some level in their life. That was the moment I didn't care. Like, I really didn't care about the academic who was sitting there judging me. He or she's gonna judge me anyway. I really don't care. Like, that's fine. I'm more interested in people who do want to learn. Those are the people that I'm after, right? So they can have their judgments about me and say all kinds of things, but I really don't care anymore. I had to weigh what I knew against what I didn't know, and I think that's really that moment. That's a dark night of the soul, right?
Interesting.
Because you can't ask anybody their opinion because they're not you, and nobody gets you but you, because you're the one that has to make the choice, right? So I had a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of lonely nights, and when I started noticing those changes, then my belief in what I was doing was just amplified by tenfold. In other words, I wasn't dreading doing it any longer. I was looking forward to doing it because I knew something was changing. So all I needed was one thing. Just notice. As soon as I noticed that one thing changed, I'm like, okay, whatever I'm doing is starting to work. Now I had more ambition. I think everybody secretly believes in themselves. I think they secretly do. And whether you're a CEO of a company or a prison inmate or a single mother with 3 kids, anybody who I've talked to, in some level, they secretly believe in themselves. And you got to earn the right to believe in yourself. You got to come up against all the disbelief in yourself, and it's a practice, right? And you grow into beliefs. That's how it works. It's really cool to be with your friends. It's really cool to hang. But man, if you're not investing in yourself, if you're not making different choices, you're not changing. And that's the challenging part, is moving in the direction of whatever you're passionate about, whatever that is. Whatever you're passionate about that maybe can contribute in some way to make things easier for people or change the world in some way or do something really that fascinates you, or whatever it is that you can do, you got to throw yourself in, like fully immerse yourself into it and put a lot of time into whatever you're doing so you emerge as an expert in whatever it is that you do, that you know that you know. Whatever you're doing by the time you reach your 30s, well, you've experimented enough, you've learned enough, you've experienced enough. You've made choices instead of doing the typical things with your friends. You took time for yourself to teach yourself, to learn, to practice, to do those things. Those are the things that make you valuable in your life, and then when you feel valued, when you're valuable, and that there's an exchange that takes place for your competence, and you become an expert or successful in whatever area that you find your passion. If you believe in yourself, you got to believe in possibilities, right? If you believe in possibilities, you got to believe in yourself, and you're not going to get possibilities sitting on the recliner. You got to go out and get them. You teach people how to feel elevated emotions. They make so many wonderful chemicals that make them feel good, that they're no longer dependent on anything outside of them to take away their emptiness, their lack, their separation, their pain, their fear. They're actually learning how to do it without any exogenous substance, without anything outside of them, without any scrolling through anything. This feels way better than any of that. Now, that's the moment where we're all of a sudden free from our environment, and people self-regulate. People come for success and wealth because they have the lack of it. People come because they want to have a mystical experience because of the lack of it, because they want love in their life because they have the lack of it. They come for all those reasons in the beginning, but what we discovered is that they're really coming for wholeness. And, it's really hard to want when you're whole. And, I discovered that when people are really whole and they're happy with themselves, they're happy with others. And when they love themselves, they love others. And when they're grateful for what they've accomplished, they're grateful with others. If they're angry with themselves, they're angry with others. If they hate themselves, they hate others. If they judge themselves, they judge others. Yeah, it's the way it is.
You start walking around in your office and you're saying, hey, you know what your problem is? You need to forgive. That's your problem. And you over there, you need to be more compassionate. Yeah, that's your problem. And listen, I learned about emotional intelligence. You got to shorten the refractory period of your emotional reactions. All of you over there. Everybody is just floored by you, and they're knocking on your door at work and they're asking for you to administer to them and solve all their problems. And they're seeing you as psychic and smart. That's the philosopher. Now, when you take that intellectual information and you apply it, you personalize it, you demonstrate it, you initiate that information, and you do something with that information, you would have to agree then, the moment you do something differently, you're going to have a new experience. Would you agree? If there's a crisis, you're going to have to do exactly what's unnatural. When everybody else is afraid and is holding on, now is time to give. When everybody else is judging, you show compassion. When everybody else is cynical and can't see possibility, you should be talking possibility. It will seem so unnatural, but how else do we become supernatural until we overcome what's natural? In every condition in your life is your initiation into greatness. You see, there are no schools of ancient wisdom on the hilltops of the Himalayas. You look in the mirror, you see a reflection of yourself. That's how the physical self knows who it is. But how does the ego, the immaterial self, know itself? And that is, you're initiated in your life. And you have to meet your life from a new level of mind every single day.
A joy for existence, a gratitude like I love being alive. And when that occurs, pro-social networks in the brain switch on, and instead of being protective and separate and survival, those pro-social networks cause us to want to connect and commune and form tribes and form communities and take care of one another and support each other and love one another and heal one another and shine for one another and inform one another and honor one another and respect one another. That's what happens when this center kind of opens up, and it's a different consciousness. It's an emergent consciousness.
There's nothing greater than being a part of a human being's transformation. There's nothing greater when you can celebrate someone's personal change and transformation. And I think the greatest form of gratitude that we can ever experience is when we receive gratitude from someone else. I think there's an empathy that's innate in us that we kind of go, we feel what that person's feeling when their life has changed, right? Or they're appreciative. And I think our social networks switch on. I think we come together, we commune, we connect more, and I think there's a greater appreciation for life. And so mission-driven people are people who really want to make a difference in people's lives. And I think it's the highest form of motivation.
What the turning point for me was, it was when the meditations were not about me, and I sort of shifted my consciousness, and we started doing the coherence healings, and it became about the healing of another person. And that it ushered in a new insight for me of this life is about service.
That's what we really want to be doing.
Yeah.
That's what everybody really wants to be doing. Everybody really wants to do that.
So our job, then, what's our purpose in life? Our purpose in life isn't to be good or to please God or to be beautiful or to be rich. That's not our purpose in life. Our purpose in life is to begin to remove those layers, those masks, those habits, those emotions that block the flow of the divine in us. And when you and I begin to remove those layers, that intelligence that gives us life begins to leak out of us. It begins to consume us. Its nature becomes our nature. Its mind becomes our mind. Its consciousness becomes our consciousness. We become more giving because it's a giver of life. We become more conscious. It is a consciousness. We become more loving. It is a lover of life. And so then, as we begin to remove those layers and that intelligence begins to express itself through us, we become more like it. And all of a sudden now, when you overcome some aspect of you and you freed yourself from the chains of the past and you are in love with life, there's only one thing you want to do when you feel that way. You want to give. And you say, I feel so incredible. Here, take this. I want you to feel the way I feel. And all of a sudden, we go from living a selfish life to a selfless life.
I want to give people my greatest understanding of the truth and numerous opportunities to experience it. I want to free their minds and open their hearts with a simple formula that leads them to a door, right? A door of unlimited possibilities. And I want the door to show people that They are greater than they think, more powerful than they know, more unlimited than they could ever dream.